Hi, my name is Moses, Ssebandeke, filmmaker, part-time comedian. Since we're living in extraordinary times and everybody and their nan are desperate to stifle the bone-crushing loneliness that we're going through at the moment, and me as well, I'm more conscious about my mortality during this pandemic, I felt like, why not? Let me try to do a comedy special for my bedroom. The comedy clubs are closed, and I feel that my bedroom and a comedy club have a lot in common, you see, because in my bedroom I share a lot of laughs, I think about what I've done with my life, and both a comedy club and my bedroom tend to get quite sticky over time. So, I think it will work. And people ask, don't you think it's going to be quite awkward to do a comedy special with no audience and nobody's laughing? And I say, mate, that's basically 85% of most comedy gigs. I feel there's a lot of things that is getting kind of normalized within the lockdown that wouldn't be normalized pre-lockdown. One thing that I thought was crazy is that now on porn videos, they give you kind of options to share to social media. Like you want to let your nearest and dearest know about the latest triple anal video you're watching. But I thought one thing's very weird about that as well. Like they've got Facebook, Twitter, I think I even saw Bebo there. Not all social media accounts are created equal. Like what about LinkedIn? The professional work social media. Like, why can't we share stuff today? How do they not know that I don't want to let any kind of like prospective employers know that I'm partial to a bit of interracial? I promote diversity in the boardroom and in the bedroom. A double whammy, which is coincidentally the name of the film that I shared to my LinkedIn page. But, it helped, I started B&Q next week, so that's good. But there's also one thing about porn as well that I find weird, that I feel it's one of the few places where you can still be overtly racist. Like you can have the craziest plot lines that don't even make any sense. Like one plot line I saw on one video was about a black woman that goes back in time to teach Hitler a lesson. They called the film Black to the Fuhrer. I was offended, and I was going to send a complaint, after I finished doing my thing. One thing that people got angry quite recently was the idea of white privilege. And some people say it exists, some people say it doesn't exist. Well, I feel I've got one example that proves white privilege exists. White people have a privilege to be able to time travel past 1980. Like for me, I won't go anywhere past 1980. There's girls who talk about like, oh, I'd love to go to the 1700s, and be like Jane Austen, meet Mr. Darcy. For me, the 18th century is the op block for me. Like those are the ops over there. I'd love to go back in time and fuck some girls with corsets, but I can't. You know what I mean? For me, the rule of thumb is that the darker Michael Jackson gets, the darker it gets for black people collectively. You know what I mean? Like I feel like once I get to a point where I can see that Michael Jackson's got his original nose back, I've gone too far. So I'll go back. You know what I mean? I avoid the 1800s like hipsters avoid parts of Brixton that doesn't have any Costa coffee. But I also kind of started thinking, what would it be like if me as an African, I came and colonized the UK? Well, the first thing I'll rename the UK. I don't care if they're, about like the cultural differences between an Englishman, a Scotsman, a Welshman. I will name the whole UK Essex land, or the Democratic Republic of Tooting, and I'll take away the UK's most prized possessions and put them in a Ugandan museum for 200 years. So Ed Sheeran and baked beans is coming back with me to Uganda. Breakups, they can be hard, man. I remember a very harsh breakup I had a couple of years ago where I had a young lady cheat on me. And what was kind of like what add insult to injury was that when she said that she cheated on me because she wanted to get out. Like, basically, she was comparing our relationship to a scenario in Saw. I want to play a game. You're stuck in a soulless relationship, and before your very eyes, you see yourself spending your good years with the wrong person. What are you gonna do? Cut ties before it gets too deep? Or before you know it, you're 40 years old, with 2 kids, with the person you don't love. Pick your choice. Yeah, you think about it a bit, probably it was right to try to get out. You know, and I feel in this lockdown, even though with all its video conferences, the Zooms, Skypes and all that kind of stuff, it's emphasized how disconnected we are as a generation. And it always reminds me of this story called Plato's Allegory of the Cave. It's about these prisoners that from birth have been locked within this cave, and a fire burns behind them, and the shadows that they see on the wall, they think that's reality, that's their whole world, until a hero comes in, frees them and shows them the true world outside. And it's a kind of like heroic story telling people about how they find truth. But I feel if that same story happens in contemporary times, it will go something like this. Alright, yo, it was hard, but we were able to break you guys out. You've been in this cave from birth. Like, come with us, we'll show you outside. Yeah, but what's outside though? Like, what is outside? It's fresh air, it's reality, it's the ever elusive truth. Yeah, but like, is there Wi-Fi outside? No, I don't think so. Maybe like BT wireless, but that doesn't work all the time. Yeah, that, like, the thing is, like, we were watching Netflix in there, you know, and the money heist has just started, so I don't know about that. And one of the sad things I feel during these strange times is that there's going to be a lot of depression. But keep going through it, because I've been through that as well. And people tell you useless things during depression, like the term man up. What does man up actually means? It sounds like a useless power up in a 1980s video game. Oh, you got man up. Oh, what does that do? Oh, it makes you really emotionally repressed, and you start punching people outside Tiger randomly when you explode, you know? And you have to find ways how to repress those emotions. And one happy time I remember is when I went to Amsterdam with my friends. Now, we were young students, we were broke, we didn't have anything, so we stayed in this hostel. This hostel was like just above a brothel, so that means every morning when we open the window, the sweet aroma of despair and wet wipes would just hit your face like, yes, you know what I mean? I love the smell of bad decisions in the morning. And we thought, like, let's go out and enjoy ourselves. And we went into a strip club, and I was not happy about going there. But they said, no, take these space cakes, and then you'll forget about being in there. So you're only supposed to take about 1. I took about 5. And when I took those 5 space cakes, I went to the strip club, and then I was there doing my thing, and then I was looking at the strippers, and one of the strippers' heads turned into the head of Trevor McDonald. Sorry, Sir Trevor McDonald. And when I looked over there at that half Trevor McDonald, half stripper, I felt like, you know, I'm at peace. I like it. So this whole situation has been a way for me to get really conscious about my mortality, you know. And beforehand, the only time that I've started becoming conscious of my mortality is via near-death experiences, and those things have happened twice in my 28 years, and they've been both times on a airplane ride. One time was on a crazy flight from the UK to New York, and it was on an old, really raggedy Delta flight. I think that the announcement kind of speaker wasn't working on this flight, so they couldn't do for big kind of safety announcement. Instead, they decided to tell a flight attendant to tell the information to one person at the front, and then they passed it down the line via the passengers. And then by the time it got to me right at the back, please fasten your seatbelt became, would you like your meat felt? And you know, being told that by a kind of strange Swedish man isn't really nice. Like, I've just met you, wait till they start serving drinks, you know, come on. And that made me think like, wow, what is the meaning of life? Only when you feel that you're about to lose it, you start trying to think about what the meaning of it is. It's weird.